Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Time, first of all, for the first big boo. Go ahead, let it out, get it out. We know you boo because you love us. First of all, we want to thank all the volunteers for the hunt, for all their efforts. And we especially want to thank Megan Graham and Catherine Johansson for organizing this whole thing. We thank them. We're going to go through the puzzles now, one at a time, and explain how they were supposed to work. We'll start with the auction puzzle, which was thought of by a Post reader, Steve Spicer. So give Steve a round of applause. He's around here somewhere. And we also want to thank Ski Motorsports, Paul Chikansky, who provided the racing car and Paul sponsors the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation with his car. And we wanted to mention that. So we thank Paul for bringing the car. So anyway, you came to the auction. We had a real auctioneer. Wasn't he a great auctioneer? I don't know his name. And you had a choice of well, you could bid on 4 items: a race car, a Civic, poop. What? Race car.
Level.
I know that. No Civic. Well, that's because Tom told me there was a Civic.
Civic.
Yeah, so Tom. There's no Civic. Shut up. There's no Civic. Race car, poop, level, and kayak were the 4 items, and most of you probably figured out early on that those are all palindromes, and which are words that, when spelled backward, mate underwater. No, they're words that they are the same spelled either direction. So you were asked to bid, but he wasn't really paying that much attention to what you were bidding. He was coming up with prices on his own, and you were told that what you had to do was come up with the appropriate price for each item. Only one of the items had a palindromic answer price. And which one was that?
Race car.
The race car, that was $41.14. No, it wasn't. I've got these notes from Schroeder. 26,062. How many people got that one right? A lot of people. I didn't get it right. Yeah, go ahead.
I want you to know that we are going to figure out a way to auction off that pile of poop for charity, and we expect to get a lot of money for that. Oh yeah, can you raise your hands if you were offended by that pile of poop? Okay, good, thank you.
You look like pretty good shape.
There's got to be a place for it on the ellipse somewhere, don't you think?
Congress.
All right, move on to the Spy Museum puzzle. When you got to the Spy Museum, you were handed a small card. I got one here. No, that's not the one. Here it is. There's a big thing. Here it is. Psst. Here's a hint. When you have found the dreaded red NUMBER, you will have completed the first step of your mission. There you will see this from a different type of perspective, and your mission will be done. The key was the dreaded red NUMBER. Most people first read that as number, but there are 2 ways to pronounce NUMBER. The other way would be number. So there you go. Where's there a dreaded red number? Well, if you look on the map, you see a dentist. Well, we got a lot of people didn't get that one, apparently. There's a dentist, and he's red, she's red, holding a needle, and she is inserting the needle into the gum of an unhappy patient. That's your dreaded, and by the way, the dentist has dreadlocks. I mean, do we have to spell it out for you? That was the dreaded red number. And if you went to the location of the dreaded red number, you got this. Some people, hold up if you got one, so that the dumber people can see. If you put this on top of this, you get 131. 131 was the answer to the dreaded red number. How many people got that one right? Liars! You're lying! Now, a lot of people got it. Wait. Next one. The night moves puzzle, the chess puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Those volunteers get hazard pay.
So you went to John Marshall Place Park, and there's a statue there of two guys playing chess, which you probably saw. You were given a handout, an 8x8 grid, and one of the squares was marked Start. Those of you who got there surely noticed that in the magazine there was also an 8x8 grid, and the squares were filled in with letters. The key there was that the music playing in the background was Bob Seger singing the song Knight Moves. So those of you who knew how a knight moved in chess started at the start, which was an F, and there was only one way, we hope, there was only one way to make knight moves from that F and spell out a number. If you did it, the number you got was 15. How many people got that one right? Okay, a lot of people got that one right. We come now to Tom Schroeder's puzzle. Thought up by Tom Schroeder, Tom's idea completely, this puzzle, the bowling puzzle. We directed you to a huge bowling ball. Next to that bowling ball were arrows. And if you looked at the map, you saw there was a large triangle outlined in red and a poem. Now we bring this up. You were handed a poem. This was written by T.S. Eliot. And no, it was written by Gene Weingarten. Your first roll was pretty good, but some you didn't smite. Now you have to find that wood, because what's left is right. What's telling you is that you've already taken one roll, you're on your second roll in bowling, and what's left, there are some pins you didn't smite, some wood you didn't smite, the ones that are left are the right ones. We gave you a hint with this one right out here, bowling pin here in the park. It says this is the 8 pin, just letting you know, because we thought maybe there are people who don't know that bowling pins are numbered. We assume most of you knew that. So your job was to find out, besides this pin, what other pins had been knocked down, which ones were still standing. If you went through that whole triangular area, scoured it, you should have found 3 pins. The 3 pin numbers were what? 2, 6, 8. I've already told you that, I guess, so you should know that by now. The 2, the 6, and the 8 pins were left standing. The answer to this puzzle was 268. How many people got that one right? Well, go figure. Finally, the computer puzzle, the puzzle that took place here on this stage. We want to thank the people who did that, because they had to stand up here in ridiculous costumes all afternoon. Dan Zach, the guy in the chair, Caitlin Gibson in the role of Mouse, Rachel Manteuffel, Tim Jacoby, David Montgomery, Lynn Medford, and Chris Klimek were the other folks on the stage. So we tried to give you some hints as to what was going on. The first is this board over here with the keys on it. Everybody was obsessed with the board, with the keys, and the position of the keys. Somebody moved the keys, and they're not the keys. What keys? That was just, all we're telling you here is it's keys on a board. That makes it what? That's a keyboard. That's all that was about. The real action took place up on the stage. On the stage you had several features that we would associate with a keyboard. One was a person dressed as a mouse. That would be your mouse. Then we had a guy in a chair who kept saying mother fracker and things like that and bleeping himself out. What is he? He's a cursor. You had a keyboard. You had a keyboard. You had a mouse. You had a cursor. Folks, it was a computer here on the stage. That's what it was, a live computer. And as happens in real computers, the mouse was moving the cursor around. There were 4, we'll call them icons up here. You had a chicken, a pig, the Washington Post mascot, and a fox with a flame. A firefox. And whenever the cursor stopped in front of the fox with the flame, the mouse went click. She clicked on the Firefox icon. What do you? And then we had a big sign that went up that said, what did it say? Where do you go now? Something like that. Where do you go now? So if you click on Firefox, which is a web browser, where do you go? The web. And on the map there was a web. All right. And if you went to that web, you saw a sign. It was basically just a list of software and versions. Internet Explorer version 4.0, Google Chrome version 3.2, Safari version 5.1, Mozilla version 6.2. Right? So your answer was 6.2. How many people got that one? There we go. A lot of you. How many people didn't get that one? I'm just curious. You can't help yourselves. All right, that leaves you with 5 clues. At 3 o'clock, we gave you the final clue, and we told you it applied only to the first of the 5 clues that you'd already gotten. And the first one was, when you know where to look, it's as easy as the 341st, 344th, 612th, 659th, then just follow the instructions. The clue that we gave you at 3 o'clock was, look for it when the sun don't shine, then it's your call. The key there was to look in your magazine. At the bottom of every page in the magazine were little symbols, dingbats they're called, and almost all of them had suns. But one page didn't have the sun, and that page was where? If you went there and counted the 341st, 344th, 612th, and 659th words, which was not easy to do. But it made us laugh because when we said, look for it where the sun don't shine, what we expected was everybody was going to sit down and start studying. But we saw people taking off sprinting. They're still running, folks. They're in Maryland by now, so we don't know where they're going.
They're going to the poop. The sun don't shine.
Okay. But anyway, if you counted it, and we counted this many times, it's very tedious and annoying to have to do in the middle of the hunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you got PhD, MA, which was in the context of Ma, 98.6, and 180 in the context of doing a 180. PhD, MA, 98.6, and 180 are what?
Degrees.
They're all degrees. So the first part of that was look for there, then it's your call. If you called 202 degrees, you got a recording. And the recording said, your PIN number is 10. Your PIN number is 10. How many people got that far? Got that? Okay, some of you. That told you, go to where the 10 pin would be in our bowling puzzle. So, people went sprinting off to the 10 pin location. There they found the 10 pin. They also found a sign. I will try to show it to you. It said, text your name and phone number to. And then there was, many of you cannot see it, there was a picture of a witch. So it said, text your name and phone number to witch. So the first thing you had to do is figure out, how do you text it to witch? That was where the other 4 puzzle answers came into play. The second one said, you completed your W2 before you ate 6 peas. That tells you that W is 2. Second one said, even if B equals 9 and I equals 7 and X plus Z equals 3 and so on, that tells you that I is 7. So you've got 2, 7. The next one said the 12th thoracic vertebra, T12, is almost, then that tells you that the T is 12, and the final one, the Book of Epidemus, CH6, tells you that CH is 6. So what you got is text your name and phone number to 217126. This is where I assume some people texted their name and phone number to 27126. If you did that, you were told you didn't follow the directions. So what you had to do was think about what you were supposed to do, and the answer was you were supposed to text the words, your name and phone number. It's a Weingarten's idea.
We do believe this is the crappiest thing we've ever done.
If you did that, and at this point it's getting hard, you got the following message. Go to the secret TOWER. Take a digital photo of the digital clock, return to the stage. And that was sort of like harking back to the dread number, the red number. Secret tower could also be secret tower. If you looked on the map, you saw a masked man, a secret masked man driving a tow truck, going shh, and he's pointing. He's pointing to a spot on the map. If you went to that spot where the secret tower is telling you to go, there was a digital clock in the window. It said, take a digital photo of the digital clock and return to the stage. If you took that photo and came back here and had the earliest photo taken of that clock, you won the hunt. And somebody, believe it or not, actually did that, and we're going to meet them now.
Okay, first the news. In this, the 5th year of the post hunt, we have finally completely evolved. No one from Miami won. The Miami team missed it by 28 seconds. Finishing third from DC, the team of Terry Culbertson, Tim Valadez, Teresa Crockett, Ebony Johnson, and Omer Boirier. Finishing second from all over this area, John Rosen, Joel Garcia, Mike Byrne, Andrew Seidman, Stacy Carmichael, Graham Phillips, and Ashley Newman Owens. And finishing first, the smartest people in the room, whose team name, I swear, was Team Not Gonna Win. John McAdon, Damon Toff, Phil Spector, Sabita Soneji, Timmy Bouler, and Mark Kackler.
And I've always wanted to do this. Now I'm going to present them with a really big check.